Hey everyone. Shiva is often the subject of folklore, simple living, mysticism, and anger. Lord Shiva is mainly the destroyer of all things to create a new one. He can be described as a beginning, the blackness and void from where everything started and everything will eventually culminate into. Today, let's know about some of the fascinating and legendary tales about Lord Shiva. Let's start the video, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Lord Shiva's body is always wrapped with ash, and not only this, his devotees put up an ash tilak. The reason is he wants his followers to stay true to reality always and not to be fooled by external, temporary and physical beauty. One fine day, the sturdy sage named Parnada was cutting some grass. During this process, he accidentally cut off his finger, and in place of blood, his finger released the sap of a tree, and he was full of pride. Shiva, who saw this, turned up into an old man and questioned him the reason for his happiness. And Parnada responded that he had turned into the most pious man in the entire world. But Shiva, as an old man, questioned sage's joy, responding that it was just sap. When trees and plants are burnt, they convert into ash. The old man showed it by cutting his finger, and it oozed ash. Sage Parnada understood that it was Shiva in front of him and asked him to forgive his ignorance. He had a blue neck because of drinking the poison named halahala at the time of the churning of ocean, that is the Samudra Manthan, to grab the elixir of life. Legends say that at the time of Samudra Manthan, the ocean was being churned by the Devas along with the Asuras. The very first thing that came out was a dark, sticky foam, that poison named halahala, that had the capacity to destroy the entire universe. Soon, its vapor started to escalate in the air and water. Shiva immediately drank it to save the world. Goddess Parvati held Shiva's neck to obstruct the spreading of poison in the entire body, and so it eventually remained in his throat, turning it into blue color. Once, a person named Bhagiratha requested Lord Brahma to bring the river Ganges down to earth to clean the souls of his ancestors and eventually let them achieve nirvana. Brahma asked Bhagiratha to place Shiva, for only he could interrupt Ganga's landfall. Ganga aggressively flew down to earth, but Shiva patiently trapped her back in his braided locks and let her out in namely 7 streams: Bhagiratha, Jahnavi, Bhilangana, Mandakini, Rishi Ganga, Saraswati, and Alaknanda. Ganga then followed Bhagiratha, who took her to his ancestors and with her purity released their souls. Long back, a demon named Raktabij could recreate himself immediately as soon as a drop of his blood touched the earth. He was then unstoppable. Therefore, Shakti, in the manifestation of Goddess Durga, was called to kill the demon that kept on multiplying. Infuriated by this, Devi took the manifestation of the fierce form of Kali and killed each demon and drank his blood immediately. After drinking the blood of the entire demons, the Kali turned mad with bloodlust and even started to slay the innocent. Then, gods came to Lord Shiva for help, who then lied down among the corpses. Goddess Kali stepped on Lord Shiva, and immediately she realized her mistake and calmed down, which eventually made her tongue stick out. Once the dwarf demon named Apasmara confronted Shiva. Shiva took the manifestation of Nataraja and came with the famous Tandava, ultimately crushing the aggressive demon Apasmara beneath his right foot. Since Apasmara should not die to protect the balance between knowledge and ignorance, it is regarded that Lord Shiva always remains in his Nataraja form, crushing Apasmara for eternity. His Nataraja form is a note to the world that ignorance can only be conquered by knowledge, music, and dance. Shiva wandered off and strolled around the fields after an angry argument with his family. Exhausted from the family fights and the hot sun, he fell asleep beneath a leafy plant named cannabis. When he got up, his curiousness led him to sample the leaves of the plant. Immediately revitalized, Shiva declared the plant his favorite food. Another tale says that when the ocean of milk was churned by the gods and the demons for getting hold of the elixir of life, a drop fell on Mount Madra and a plant came out from the drop. The drink made from the leaves of this plant, cannabis, turned out to be a favorite of Lord Shiva. It is considered that the 3 folds of the snake all over his neck represent the future, present, and past. At the time of Samudra Manthan, that is the churning of the ocean, Shiva consumed a deadly poison. It is regarded that there were also some snakes in the water along with Shiva who did the same thing. Touched by this act of snakes, Shiva welcomed Vasuki, who is king of snakes, around his neck. On the other hand, some other legends say that the snakes enabled Shiva to restrict the poison in his throat. There is yet another story that says that at the time of his marriage with Parvati, these snakes turned into pieces of jewelry and ornaments. Not only this, it is said that Shiva turned the ornaments out of these poisonous snakes and presented them to Parvati as a gift. Snakes, particularly cobras, are said to bear money in their head that acted as lamps at night time to goddess Parvati and Lord Shiva. Surabhi, who was a real mother of all the cows, started giving birth to quite a lot of cows. The milk which came from all these cows covered the home of Shiva. Irritated by this hindrance to this meditation, Shiva walloped the cows through fire from his third eye. Witnessing this, the other gods came to calm Shiva down by giving him a beautiful bull, Nandi, the son of Surabhi and Kashyapa, which he happily accepted and rode. Nandi also turned out to be the protector of all animals. When the ocean was churned, Lord Shiva drank halahala. His body temperature began to rise. As it is considered that the moon is placed in its demeanor, he kept the moon on his head to lower his body temperature. Daksh Prajapati, one among the sons of Lord Brahma, had 27 stars as his daughters who were married to the moon. However, the moon particularly had feelings of attraction towards one of his wife. She was Rohini. Due to this, he cursed the moon that it would lose its shine eventually, day by day. No later, the moon started losing the light and took refuge in the ocean. Without the moon, the balance of nature got disrupted as the lives based on the light of the moon started to suffer. To end this suffering, gods requested Lord Shiva to take some step to restore it. The moon then eventually resided in Shiva's matted hair. He excelled in making the moon grow in size for 15 days good and then wane for another 15 days, which is why we see a full moon and a new moon. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdy's discoveries. Can't wait for the next video to learn more and be fascinated about. See you on the next. Bye.